Hello and welcome back, G-Man in the studio. Today I'm giving a more in-depth overview of my new Eurorack module, the Infusor-X. Infusor-X is an audio manipulator with two modes of operation. Switcher mode lets you jump between your effects modules on the fly, in timing with your groove. And in mixer mode, the Infusor-X becomes a straightforward 10-channel audio submixer. Both modes feature 8 level sliders, 8 mute channel select buttons, and 8 pan pots. Along the top of the module are the inputs, channels 1 through 10. Channels 1 through 8 will pass through the audio switch, leveler, and pan pot. Then on to the mixing amp. Channels 9 and 10 are left and right inputs that go directly to the mixing amp, just for your favorite synth or drum machine. The second row of jacks have the CV input for switcher mode, 7 buffered multiple outputs that are a copy of input channel 1, and a stereo output. Around on back of the module you'll see the power supply header. There is also another 5-pin header down in the corner of the module. This is used to program the microcontroller before I ship them out, and can be ignored. Switcher mode is a way to jump or solo any channel at any time. Plug in the input signal on channel 1 and get back 7 active buffered multiples of that signal. Now send those signals to 7 of your favorite effects modules and patch your 7 effects returns into channels 2 through 8. Use the channel select buttons to switch between the dry channel 1 and the 7 effects return channels. Whatever channel you select, it will go to the output, one at a time. Here I'm plugging in the pitch output of a BeatStep Pro into the CV input. The Infusor-X can handle control voltage to automate switching between the channels. It does this by comparing the incoming voltages to breakpoints that are stored in memory. The CV switching breakpoints are user programmable. Let's look at the programming mode to assign those user breakpoints. Enter the program mode when you are ready to program your user-defined breakpoints to control the switcher mode. When I set up the module, I like to use an octave of white keys, from C1, D1, E1 on up to C2. This gives the 8 needed breakpoints. While I like the breakpoints to be in a sequential order, you can make the sequence be out of order if you want. First, some things to know. Number 1. If you're using a continuous CV like an LFO or an envelope, all voltages between the breakpoint margins are ignored by the module. The channel will be switched when the continuous voltage sweeps through the breakpoint. Number 2. The LED channel status is hardwired to the analog switch to save space. Therefore, you will want to disconnect the audio while programming. Otherwise, you'll need to listen to some clicks and pops in the audio output. Number 3. There are rules to abide here to get the most out of your module. The breakpoints must be somewhere between 0 and 5 volts, so try to keep the breakpoints a few millivolts apart from each other. This means you can't have the same voltage for 2 different breakpoints. It is just too confusing to the firmware. You can keep the voltages a half step apart when using volt per octave. So that means you can alternatively use C1, C#1, D1, D#1, etc. And number 4. Sometimes voltages above 3 volts that are close together don't work well. The digital converters seem to have a harder time with the precision. If the module doesn't respond correctly, just try again an octave lower, or separate the breakpoints a bit more. Okay, let's get started. Enter program mode by holding down button number 1 and turning on the module. When you let go of the button, the LED will blink. Plug in your voltage source into the CV input. Send the appropriate note pitch. Then press the button. If the value is accepted, the next LED will blink. It's okay if it doesn't advance to the next LED, just try the button again. Continue sending the next pitch and pressing the button under the blinking LED. When you finish the last step with button number 8, the module will flash the memory and reboot with your user breakpoints ready to go. The user breakpoints are non-volatile, so they will still be there every time you boot the module. In mixer mode, the Infusor-X becomes a straightforward 10-channel active audio submixer. The buffered multiple is always available to use in any mode. The buttons will mute and unmute the tracks one at a time. The CV input jack is not used in mixer mode. It's just for the switcher mode. Most of the time, you will want to set the level at or below unity, so the mixer doesn't start clipping. A level at max offers 3 decibels of boost, just in case you have a signal that is a bit weak. It's definitely not recommended to set all the levels at maximum. Also, auxiliary channels 9 and 10 will come in at unity as well. It's meant to use 9 and 10 for an external stereo synth or drum machine, so 9 and 10 are hardwired in a left-right stereo combo. Since 9 and 10 don't have level controls, you can use the volume knob on those external devices to attenuate the level as needed. Well, there it is, the Infusor-X. That should be all you need to know. If you have any questions, write in the comments or send me a message. And thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.